All right, so let's go over some markets, crude and the other ones, ES and gold. Let's take a look at gold. Right. So gold pulled back and it tested today. Here. Yeah, so right here, I think this chart shows it best. There was some effort here, and the market would basically pull back. As you can see, there was some high volume on the left-hand side, and it started building support. After that, gold tried to take out resistance, right? So this is taking out resistance. Why? Because you know overhead supply is right here. If it goes up, volumes increase, either breaking out or taking out overhead resistance. After it does that, it gave a full test and a spring. So this whole area is support. The 5 minute on the left hand side, this whole area is support. This is an attempt to take out the high and absorb the high and break out, and this is the shakeout before the uptrend. So this is all accumulation, and that's your spring or shakeout that they basically went all the way back down and then reversed it right there. Reversed it with this big bar and did all of this. So this move is a little challenging because after this big bar, there was no pullback. It just made the highs. So, you know, what are you going to do? Alright, so this is your sign of strength right there. That's your sign of strength, that's your base of accumulation, sign of strength. Breaks the low on a shakeout. Expect the shakeout. I'm going to say it again, expect the shakeout. Specifically taking out either overnight highs and lows, and also taking out the change of behavior. Gold has a tendency to do that. It takes out the change of behavior and then reverses with a spring or an upthrust. Right here you have the spring of the change of behavior, and it goes up. Alright, and then on the tape reading chart you can see very clearly that it's created a support level against a prior base, tried to take out the high right here with high volume. Basically this is clearing the way for higher prices. After it did that, it did a spring, testing support, springing support, and then entering markup. Crude a little bit tricky. Right. So the first thing is they took out this area right here. You see this high? So this right here, as you know, when markets take out highs and lows, their volumes generally and most of the time increase because they're breaking out or absorbing. So this is the high. What do you expect when you take out the high? You expect high volume. This is what happens. It's breaking that high or absorbing it high. Demand is overtaking supply, and it has fall through. Okay, wonderful, great. Then it pulls back, but this is very tricky because it pulls back with a break. So you don't know which one is it. Is it the buy or is it sell? Is it buy, pull back to support, or is it sell and you sell to test the resistance? So I mean, this stuff happens, and I'll explain why it happens. Is because in every cycle, in every trend, you have accumulation and distribution to a varying degree. And this thing's not. What's going on here? I don't know what's working, but alright. I reached the end of the chart, but the point is, you'll have accumulation at the low and distribution at the high. accumulation to set up the up wave, and distribution to set up the rotation pullback. So that's what this is. This is the accumulation, that's the break, and then there's distribution, and there's the break. Now here's the thing. Usually when you're trending, it doesn't go all the way back. So you don't know which side is going to win, because you don't know if it's, if it's in a trend, the pullback shouldn't be at the base of the rally. But in this case it is. So what are you going to do? So anyway, after it does that, the key was this. That, although it says effort, it's actually absorption and breaks trying to take the market higher. This right here is high volume from this area to take the market higher, because this is a level of interest. So sometimes very difficult to see that clearly, but it goes up, and later on it gives you the break. So now I don't know if it's going to hold or anything like that, but here's the thing. You have your accumulation here, you have your break, you have some distribution to set up the pullback. The pullback's pretty deep. Tests, buy some more, reaccumulate some more in order to go higher. Now it's actually coming back, but I'm not going to enter because there's no liquidity. Alright, so what do you learn from this? You gotta know the background and understand that sometimes when you have the pullback, it'll go all the way into your base of accumulation. So this is your accumulation area, this is your markup, this is your distribution in the accumulation area, this is an attempt to lift, so on and so forth. This action is also pretty logical. Alright, so you had your accumulation area here, on the ES. The key, I mean, this was too early, obviously you're not going to trade this too early or whatever, but there's the effort. There's your bag holding, sideways, reaccumulation, break, right? So now what do you expect? Expect a pullback. Where will it pull back? Yes, there's a chance it's going to pull back only to test the breakout, but there's another chance it's going to pull back to go into the accumulation area. All right? And crude, you saw it went all the way into the support, accumulation support. But here, it just tests, which is more of a, more likely. So, goes up, tests that accumulation area, and from that you have a rally into that distributed block, pull back, the buyers are still there, as indicated by the white box, and it goes into markup. So this is a good two-sided trade. It's just a little confusing because you have your accumulation block, you have a distribution block, pull back into reaccumulation, so which one do you take? Do you take the bull long or do you take the distribution test short? That's a hard question. Some will take both and see whichever one works, and they have expertise in getting out if it doesn't. And some will just take a look at the lower time frame, or a high time frame, and make a decision. What we know here is that these guys, they didn't make it. I guess they thought it was going to pull back, hold this level, and then go higher, but it went all the way back into accumulation and distribution, which is another thing I want to mention, that these accumulation and distribution blocks are support and resistance. Again, they are support and resistance because strong hands have big positions there, so they typically set up a bounce, at least if not trend continuation. Right? That's the first thing. The second thing I want to mention is a lot of times the base breaks at the high are minor distribution breaks in order to create the pullback into the accumulation area where the buying resumes in order to go higher. make the higher high. So you just have to, I don't know, just have to realize that that's what happens when you have this, right? Let's go like that, and go like that. When you have this pullback to test, there is distribution up here, minor distribution. There is accumulation here. There's accumulation here and there's distribution here. This distribution on this turning point is setting up the pullback. It is causing the pullback. The pullback is the test you use to enter. And when it comes here, typically there's some reaccumulation to go higher. All right. All right, that's all, folks. Take care. Bye.